Welcome to Maratha Vidya Prasar Samaj, KRT Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, Allies, KTHM College Nasik. I am Mr. S.K.Dharrao from the Department of Commerce. Today the class of our concern is TYBCom for the annual pattern 2013. Our subject is Computer Programming and Application Paper 2 and the subject code is 305L. The topic that we are going to discuss today is computer networks. In our series it's lecture number 2. Let us begin with the overview of computers or the overview of computer networks. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, ज्यावेळेस कम्प्युटर नेटवर्क हा शब्द माझ्या समोर येतो त्यावेळेस मला मराठीतली एक म्हण आठवते आणि ती म्हण म्हणजे जे गाव करील ते राव काय करील. काय म्हण आहे ती? जे गाव करील ते राव काय करील. म्हणजेच काय तर सगळ्यांच्या एकत्रित प्रयत्नांनी आपण जी गोष्ट साध्य करू शकतो ती कोणा एकाच्या बळावर आपण करू शकत नाही. एकीचे बळ मिळते फळ अशी एक अजून एक म्हण आपण आपल्या अध्यापनामध्ये शिकलो होतो की जर का आपण सर्वांच्या सहकार्याने काम केलं तर बरंचसं काम आपण सहज सोप्या पद्धतीने आणि ज्याला आपण म्हणूया इकॉनॉमिक पद्धतीने ते काम करू शकतो. तीच संकल्पना इथे कम्प्युटर नेटवर्कच्या बाबतीमध्ये आपल्याला शिकायला मिळणार आहे. सो इट वॉज in the early days that the computers were not capable of transmitting data from one place to another place. So they need to transmit the data. If they need to transmit the data from one place to another place, that was the physical transmission of computers. It was called as sneaker net. हे बघा इथे मी हायलाइट करतोय physical transmission of data. It was called as sneaker net. ह्या स्निकर नेट म्हणजे काय तर एखादी व्यक्ती त्या कामासाठी असाइन केली जायची. ती व्यक्ती स्टोरेज मीडियावरून एका ठिकाणून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी डेटा ट्रान्समिट करायची. त्याच्यामुळे नुकसान काय व्हायचं तर डेटा ट्रान्समिट करण्यासाठी वेळ वाया जायचा की एका ठिकाणून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी जायचं म्हणजे त्या व्यक्तीला तो डेटा फिजिकली एका ठिकाणून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी तो पोच करावा लागायचा. मग त्यामध्ये दुसरा मुद्दा होता सेफ्टी. हा खूप महत्त्वाचा मुद्दा होता, सेफ्टी किंवा सिक्युरिटी. बऱ्याच वेळा ती जी स्टोरेज मीडियामधली माहिती असायची ती अतिशय महत्त्वाची माहिती असायची, अतिशय गोपनीय माहिती असायची. आणि मग अशा वेळेस इफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर पर्सन वॉज ओव्हर पॉवर्ड बाय समवन ऑर इफ ही वॉज ब्राइब्ड देन इट वॉज अ ग्रेट थ्रेट टू द सिक्युरिटी ऑफ द डेटा विच द पर्सन वॉज कॅरिंग. अँड द थर्ड वन इज इकॉनॉमी. इकॉनॉमी इज that the cost that was incurred to transmit data from one place to another place. So these were the concerns that drove scientists in computers to find out a computer network. Besides this, it was in the 1960s that the two superpowers, America and Russia, they were fighting for supremacy amongst each other. Their researchers, they had, for security reasons, they have scattered their researchers across the country. But they need to communicate with each other. And because of the sneaker net, it used to take a longer time to go for any new invention. So it was a big bottleneck. That is why the American government came out with the idea of ARPANET. So that was the beginning of a computer networks. ARPANET is Advanced Research Project Agency Network, ARPANET. Here in this ARPANET, what they are doing, they are interconnecting two or more computers with each other so that they can share data, they can share resources, the transmission speed is minimized, there is security and economy. So how can we define from this that what is a computer network? Then the computer network is a system of interconnected computers and computerized peripherals such as printers. It is called as computer network. And what is the purpose of this? The purpose of this intercommunication is to facilitate sharing of information amongst them. Now how are these computers connected with each other? The computers are connected with each other either by wired media or wireless media. So these are the things that we'll have to remember regarding a computer network. What is computer network? A computer network is the interconnection of two or more computers. Now Why they are connected with each other? The intention is to share data or information amongst them in a speedy manner, in a secure way, and in economic way. Then, how are they are connected? They are connected either by wired media or wireless media. So these things you will have to remember, that a computer network is a network of computers connected with each other. The purpose of connection is to share. And how they are connected? They are connected either by using wired media or wireless media. Why to go for computer network? To increase the transmission speed, to minimize the safety security concern, and to minimize the economy. The next topic that we are going to study is classification of networks. So following are the criteria or the factors that affect the classification of networks. So the computer networks are classified based on various factors. They include the first one, geographical span. Geographical span means the physical distance between the computers that are connected with each other. So the first concept is geographical span. Then the second one is interconnectivity. Now what is interconnectivity? Interconnectivity is connecting the two computers with each other, how they are connected with each other. Then the next one is safety or security. Next one is administration. How they are administrated, that in what way their control is taken care of, that is the administration. And the last point is the architecture. So these are the four criteria: geographical span, interconnectivity, administration, and architecture. These are the topics that are the concern for the classification of computer networks. Now let us discuss the first criteria of classification, that is geographical span. So geographically a network can be seen in one of the following categories. So it may be spanned across your table. So if you are using Bluetooth enabled devices, you are connected with each other within a range of say few meters. So a computer network can be within a range of few meters. You are using Wi-Fi services, which is again within a range of few meters. And second one is the whole building. In our computer labs, you have seen that our computer labs are interconnected with each other, in which they are in the whole building. So that can be a type of computer network. A computer network can span across a whole city. So if we are going to say this, if it is within the building which is within a range of 1 kilometer, we may call it as local area network. If it is in the whole city, it may be called as metropolitan area network, MAN. And the last one is it may be span across multiple cities or provinces, that is states or country, or it may cover the entire world. So that kind of network is called as wide area network. So depending upon their physical distancing or the geographical span, the networks can be classified as LAN, MAN, and WAN. It is something like this: LAN, it is LAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN. Now next is interconnectivity. Interconnectivity is how they are connected with each other. Either they are connected physically, logically, different, or in the same way. So every single device can be connected to every other device on network, making the network mesh. So their interconnection is one criteria. If they are connected randomly to each other, we may call it as a network mesh. Now all devices are connected using a single medium, but geographically they are disconnected, or geographical they are apart from each other, but they are connected with one single medium. Now that can be one criteria for classification of network. Then each device is connected to its left and right peers, creating a linear structure. That is, the previous computer is connected to the next computer is connected to the furthermore connect computer. So that connection is called as a linear structure. Generally in bus topology this kind of structure is used. So I am going to discuss what is meant by bus topology, star topology in my forthcoming lectures. Then the next one is the interconnection, where all the devices are connected to a single device called as hub or switch, creating a star-like structure. And the last one is that all devices are connected arbitrarily using the previous methods, and that particular network is called as hybrid structure. So depending upon interconnectivity, the network may be a mesh, it may be a bus-like structure, it may be a linear-like structure, or it may be a star-like structure. So it is something, it has to do with topology. So the physical arrangement of computers in the network, it is called as topology, and this physical arrangement, if it is next one to each other, then it is linear structure, which is bus topology. If it is to one single device, then it is star topology. So I am going to discuss all these things in my next sessions. But for the time being, just really remember that interconnectivity is one of the criteria for connecting computers together, and that is a point in classification of computer networks. Then the next topic is administration. So from an administrator's point of view, a network can be a private network which belongs to a single autonomous system and cannot be accessed outside its physical or logical domain. See, am I marking over here? This is the topic which I am reading, that depending upon administration, the computer networks can be a private network or it can be a public network. A private network cannot be accessed out of its physical and logical domain. Means nobody who is not the part of that network cannot access that particular network. Normally big organizations have this kind of their private networks. And the another type of network is called as public network. So in private network, the administration is with the one administration, that is one single organization. When it comes to public network, there are different organizations, they are controlling the network. So depending upon the administration, the network types can be private network and public network. The next criteria of classification is network architectures. Network architecture can be of two types, client server and peer-to-peer, and the combination of all this together is a hybrid. So if both client server and peer-to-peer both are interconnected with each other, then it forms a hybrid network. Now let us discuss this in detail, that what is client server. These two terms are there. Client is a computer that requests for services. This computer means this client is not having the capacity of storage as well as processing. So for its needs, it depends upon the server. So server is a computer which is capable of fulfilling this request of the clients. So it is very high in configuration of storage and processing. Whereas the next is peer-to-peer. In peer-to-peer, there is no hierarchy which is in client server. In peer-to-peer, all computers that are part of network, they are equally capable, they are equal in their configurations, they are equally capable of storing and processing. So it is a decentralized type of network, whereas client server is a centralized network. So peer-to-peer, two systems can be connected point-to-point or in back-to-back, or they both reside at the same level, are called as peers. And if you are going to connect this together, it forms a hybrid network. So dear students, in our today's session we discussed that what is a computer network, why there arises the need of computer network, we also studied that how the computers are classified. So I'll expect you to revise all these things. For the time being, I'll take leave of you and I'll see you in our next session. Till then, goodbye. Jai Hind.